Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel, and something very unexpected has happened. Gary Gensler, who of course is the chairman of the SEC, that is the top position at the SEC, mind you, so he's running the whole show, he has joined Twitter. And to be honest with you, I actually appreciate this because he seems to be reaching out. This is not a bad thing. And you know, Jay Clayton, the previous SEC chair, was not on Twitter. And like it or not, the world does a lot of communication on Twitter. I know it's stupid and the character limitations and it's a cesspool. I get all that. But that's why for me on Twitter, I just follow XRP people and then it's not bad. It's actually enjoyable. I have a great experience on Twitter as a result of that. I exclusively follow XRP people. It's my opportunity to have a conversation with people in a pretty easy to use format. And so despite the character limitations, which are sometimes annoying, I'm glad I'm here. So what I wanted to highlight here, a number of things. I want to share with you responses from people within the XRP community, and also specifically comments from two attorneys within the XRP community, including Jeremy Hogan and also attorney John Deaton. John Deaton, of course, is the attorney who is seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case, and on behalf of over 17,000 XRP holders. And so he told Gary Gensler, let's have a meeting, and I'll share with you the specifics. But before I go any further, I do want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos as a fun hobby here. And by the way, could I just point out that his Twitter account, which has existed now for less than 24 hours, already has 51,300 followers. And so, like, I am totes jelly because if you look like my account here, let's take a look at mine. And mind you, I started my account over 3.5 years ago. I have 65,700 followers. Highly jealous that in one day he's got, oh, it jumped up now. It just refreshed. 51,500 followers is what he's got now. So it's crazy. And so part of the reason I wanted to highlight that, though, is because what's fascinating is if you scroll through the responses to him, it's just an insane number of people from within the XRP community. And so I have a feeling that he may get annoyed that most of the correspondence that he's going to see on Twitter, it's going to be from the XRP community. And I don't anticipate him doing a lot of responding there, but maybe we'll be surprised. Either way, at least he appears to be putting out an olive branch just to the world at large, saying yes. Actually, here's what he tweeted out. I'm new here on Twitter. A little about me. I'm a dad of 3, avid runner and hiker, and the 33rd chairman of the SEC. If you have any interest in investor protection or in fair, orderly, and efficient markets, then shoot me a follow. And so I did follow him. But look, I'll tell you this. I've pretty well been doing my best to give Gary Gensler the benefit of the doubt here, give him a little bit of time to see how he's going to lead the SEC. But I must admit, to this point, I am a bit disappointed that we haven't even seen any sort of messaging from Gary Gensler that he sees the problem with the lack of clarity, regulatory clarity within the space. I don't really see that acknowledged. What I see instead is just indication that he wants to regulate more deeply within the crypto space. And I'm not saying I'm against all regulation. Certainly I'm not against all regulation. I'm saying that it's ridiculous to not even talk about additional regulatory clarity. Now, part of the reason he may not be doing that, even if he thinks that there should be a sufficient clarity, is that it would destroy the SEC. Can you imagine? What would that do to the Ripple versus... the SEC versus Ripple case, if Gary Gensler's like, yeah, you're right, we do need to have more clarity. Well, exactly. So I don't see that happening. He doesn't want to tarnish the image of the SEC any further than it already has been anyway. And so you also might say, though, okay, whatever you say here, like, is it just your opinion or is it official position of the SEC? And here you go right here. He has a disclaimer in his short little bio section. If you click on it, it brings up the SEC page, which reads as follows: SEC social media disclaimer. Unless specifically indicated otherwise, social media content expresses the author's views only and not necessarily those of the commission, other members of the commission, or other staff. What? You are the guy at the top. Come on. Where does the buck stop? Is there anybody in your organization that has the ability to create an official position on behalf of the SEC. If the SEC chair can't do that himself, if that's not what these comments are, who is allowed to do it? Who is this mythical person? Does it exist? Or does the SEC not have any official positions? Or like, you just have to etch positions in stone and put it on the mantle for it to be official? It's ridiculous. And so anyway, the reason that I know this account is real, by the way, and I'm assuming Hester Peirce isn't getting tricked, it's because Hester Peirce, who is an SEC commissioner, responded to Gary Gensler and wrote, "Welcome, an important step towards greater SEC transparency." And he responded and wrote, "Thank you, Hester. I appreciate the warm welcome and look forward to continuing our work together." So unless Hester just got tricked by a fake Gary Gensler account, no. And this is Hester's official account. You can see the little check mark next to it. Here's a tweet from attorney John Deaton to Gary Gensler. "Welcome, Chairman Gensler. I speak for 19,000 XRP holders who have sought intervention or amicus status in the SEC versus Ripple case. The SEC opposed our motion. Since your agency objects to us being heard in court, will you take a meeting considering we are the people you seek to protect?" Now, not surprisingly, he has not responded, but I'm willing to bet that he did read this statement. Why do I say that? Because John's tweet here got 3,749 likes, was retweeted 674 times, and there were 25 quote retweets on top of a ton of comments. And so the way Twitter works is, since he's in this thread, every time somebody hits a like or a retweet or this or that or comments, he's notified. So his Twitter feed would have been overwhelmed with this tweet from John Deaton popping up over and over and over and over and over again. So he didn't respond, but it's a virtual certainty that he did read this. And no, I don't think that he's going to have a meeting, but I'm glad that John reached out, for sure. So who knows, maybe we'll get surprised, but I don't anticipate something like that would happen while this case is going on, the SEC versus Ripple, especially given that John Deaton is seeking to intervene currently. So we'll see, but I still appreciate that John actually did put out, just made an offer. I like it. And then there was this from attorney Jeremy Hogan, who wrote, "What are the chances the chair of the SEC, Gary Gensler, joins Twitter the same day that the director of enforcement, Gruel, officially starts, who is in charge of litigation, on the day before the deposition of former director Hinman? Conspiracy theories away." So he's got to laugh. And what he was talking about there is this new individual here. I'm not going to read the article, but here's a headline from You Today. SEC now has new top cop on the beat. And so there's an individual who's, what's the official position here? Maybe it says it right here. If not, I'll just stop looking because I don't want to waste time. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's probably right there on the screen. I can't find it quickly enough. It doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, there's a new individual that's basically in charge of enforcement and such. And so all at the same time. Now here's a tweet from XRP community member Martin Valk to Gary Gensler. And he simply wrote the following. "Gary Gensler, great to have you here, sir. However, I do hope you know what you are getting yourself into. After the shenanigans of the SEC, the money the SEC has cost the XRP community, and how little we have heard from you, it might not be the warmest of welcomes." Yeah, and so I was wondering what that would look like, and so in scrolling through a ton of these comments in response to Gary Gensler's tweet there, a ton of them are about Ripple and XRP. That's not going to surprise anybody, like a ton of them, which might have surprised Gary, who knows. But really, by and large, it's just people mostly being polite. And frankly, like I even understand the people that were a little bit less than warm. Like, I didn't see anything horrendous, first of all, but I can understand, like, even the people that had comments to Gary Gensler a little bit less than warm. I get it. The SEC has caused actual financial harm to the XRP community, and there doesn't seem to be any indication that there's going to be sufficient regulatory clarity, that the direction is going to shift. So yeah, I don't blame the XRP community for feeling a bit perturbed. But even so, that's why I was actually kind of surprised that it was mostly just thoughtful perspectives that were being shared with Gary Gensler. But either way, he's just inundated by the XRP community. That, like, basically, he signed up for Twitter, and he basically signed up to hear everything from the XRP community. That's it. That's pretty much it. And then there's this tweet from Mech 1988. "The SEC was extremely reckless in its decision to go after Ripple in the way it did. You owe XRP holders an apology and compensation." Well, don't hold your breath. I mean, not that he would personally anyway, but yeah, the SEC has caused tremendous damage here. And yeah, apology would be nice from the SEC, but I don't think that's going to be coming ever. And then there's this tweet from somebody named Holo writing this to Gary Gensler. The SEC has hurt thousands of American families when, after 8 years, going after Ripple. Your job is to protect, yet with this case, you are doing the opposite. The SEC has also given USA crypto traders a disadvantage in the market. We are locked out of many opportunities. Here's a tweet from my fellow XRP YouTuber, Jungle Inc. Hi, Chairman Gensler. I'm a frustrated XRP investor, but I respect a chairman that opens an account to public commentary. Looking forward to seeing the progress the SEC makes in regulating all of crypto in an orderly and fair manner. Yeah, and so I pretty well feel the same. Like I share the frustration that every other XRP holder is experiencing. But he basically, I was only sort of joking when I said what I said a minute ago. Like he created a Twitter account, but really what he did was just open an account where he just gets inundated by comments from XRP holders. That's pretty much it. And so maybe he'll end up being a little bit surprised by that. But the fact that he did open up a public account and he's letting people come after him like that, that I can respect. But as far as any additional respect, well, let's just see. How he leads the SEC. I've been trying to give him sufficient time. It's just disappointing that things haven't gone the way that some of us had hoped that they would have to this point in terms of increasing clarity. Here's a tweet from Santiago Velez. And this is a quote here. The mission of the SEC is to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitate capital formation. The SEC strives to promote a market environment that is worthy of the public's trust. And that's the end of that quote. And so that's from the SEC, mind you. And he then wrote, remember these words regarding overreach and lack of clarity. Because look, it's a joke at this point. Everybody under the sun knows there's a lack of clarity, including people at the SEC. They're just pretending that there's not a lack of clarity. Of course there is. Here's a tweet from Stuart XRP. Now, this first one was from January 12th. And so he retweeted it right here. And so you could see, or well, he copied and pasted the link. Maybe that's technically the right way to word it. But here was this tweet from Stuart XRP on January 12th. And it was a video clip. And he wrote a quote from Gary Gensler. And this would have been some years ago. This is, of course, well before he was SEC chairman. But Gary Gensler said the following. Most initial coin offerings are securities. I think Ether, when it was done in 2014, would pass this test. When I say pass, I mean it's a security. The SEC said by 2018, it's decentralized enough, and they have sort of said, we will let it go the other way. That's a quote from Gary Gensler. And he is correct. Back then, Ether, it was absolutely being packaged and sold as a security. It was an ICO in 2014. It was money that was collected to create Ethereum. Ethereum did not exist at that point. It was for that purpose specifically. And then what's funny enough here, and again, this is Gary Gensler before he's at the SEC, he's acknowledging here that the SEC said by 2018, it's decentralized enough, and they have sort of said we will let it go the other way. He didn't say William Hinman said it's decentralized. He said the SEC said that, and that's because the way that the SEC presented William Hinman's speech surrounding Ethereum and its what do you want to call it? Centralization versus decentralized status, and as a result, whether it's a security or not. Clearly, the whole world, including Gary Gensler, interpreted it the same way, that it's official decree from the SEC. Absolutely, that's how it was presented, and the SEC never did anything to change that public image of what had been communicated. And so then Stuart XRP wrote the following. Gary Gensler, you believed Ethereum was a security. SEC said regardless of what it might have been, it's now sufficiently decentralized, and they will consider it not a security. XRP is sufficiently decentralized, so why have SEC attacked Ripple/XRP holders? Legit questions. These are fair questions, and that's why I said also I respect the fact that he's opened himself up to this. He may not be fully prepared for exactly what was coming his way, and now people are going to tag him endlessly on everything having to do with XRP until the end of time. which, hey, it's Twitter. You know, that's what we're here for, right? That's what I would anticipate would happen anyway. And so, as long as people are adults, everything's good. Like, I don't want anyone to, like, harass him or anything. Nothing like that. I mean, I can understand why people are airing grievances, but, you know, I prefer it. And most people really have just been adults about it, and that's what he seems to want. Like, he wants people to be able to reach out for him. That's why he set up this account. That's why Hester Peirce was applauding him for doing that, for increasing transparency. And so that all makes sense here. Now, here's a tweet from XRP community member Panos, who wrote, I think you meant if you have any interest in investor protection or in fair, orderly, and efficient markets, then don't shoot me a follow. In other news, you are damaging the whole crypto industry with the Ripple lawsuit, and especially the innocent XRP investors. Exactly. It's the SEC that's... And so I understand he took over for the whole mess that was created under Jay Clayton. I got that. But it is his now. And then there was this from Library. You guys familiar with Library? They created their Library cryptocurrency, and the SEC is now suing Library. Well, Library tweeted to Gary Gensler here, and they wrote the following. And again, they're actually actively being sued, just like Ripple is. And they wrote, we've spent 4 years begging the SEC for clear rules regarding cryptocurrency. When can we expect those to be published? Good question. I'm guessing never. That would be my guess is never. Here's a tweet from XRP Euphoria. Welcome. If you make it past the pitchforks and torches, you will find that the mob is quite appeased by intelligent dialogue and transparency. Until now, our voices have been ignored. Thank you and good luck. Yeah, and so really, the way that I view it, and again, I scrolled through a ton of these comments. There's thousands of them. I didn't see a bunch of rude people. Most people were really, even if clearly a bit frustrated, not like outright devilish in the way that they were writing to him. Most certainly not. Like, that's just not what I saw. And so I was actually kind of happy to see there weren't a bunch of like pitchforks and torches, which still would technically be justified probably. Because I get it. I understand people, like, billions of dollars were evaporated as a result of what has happened here. I totally get it. But yeah, you know, above all else, I think that the XRP community would most certainly appreciate, truly value just intelligent dialogue and transparency, for sure. And so there we go. Interesting update. So I thought I'd just share with you some of the perspective, because this is out of nowhere. I didn't think Gary Gensler was ever going to do this, so kudos to him. I don't know if anything's going to come of it, but at least he now has, let's just say, an open line to the XRP community. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.